Hello there.
As you can see by the title, this is about failing and doubt. And I just thought it's good because January and like the winter blues and the kind of darker months always bring out, I think, good creativity and songwriting, but it's also like hard to kind of wrestle with those thoughts and kind of see into the future and see into like summer and like obviously you're like, oh god, winter again. So I think it's a lot about kind of controlling that within yourself and kind of taking the time to realize that sometimes it's okay to not be okay, and sometimes creating through it can be a good thing. But if you're like really battling with it, like it's okay to like leave it for a day and come back to it, or like maybe find some other creative outlets. Like I was saying about productive procrastination, you can kind of then go and productively procrastinate over here and then come back to it, and you might find like a whole new lease on things. So I think that might be really good, as if anybody is feeling like that, as maybe like productively procrastinate your way out of it, and or maybe just leave it if that's a thing. But you can obviously find creativity in like others and like other avenues of art, say like pictures, paintings, like movies, kind of video games, whatever you kind of do, like to kind of find another outlet, find that, and then let that be another thing to fuel the creativity that you need to make all of the art that you want to make. But I think that's where I get it from, and that's where I kind of draw my place from when I'm feeling a bit maybe like shit or confused about stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, it's crap, but I am golden and I know I'm golden. It's just all these thoughts that crop up. But I hope that makes sense, because that's a lot of dealing with like doubt and stuff. You just kind of need to hear it out loud sometimes and just not be kind of so confused by it all, I guess. But that's what I find anyway. But yeah, and then I think about like failing and stuff is just like you can feel like you're failing a lot of the time. Like sometimes I do feel like quite a lot like maybe I'm not doing enough, maybe I am, like, and I've got people around me that are like, yo Lou, you are, you like you've done X, Y, and Z. But then sometimes like I feel like sometimes people, it's hard to kind of get across what you mean as yourself, but also get it across in the music and then have this whole brand and whatever else at the same time. Because it's like, ideally, we'd all just make music and put it out and be like, fuck it, it's golden, and then move on. But the illusion is, it's like, it's never been that way. Even when it used to be like no internet or whatever, like there's brands and people were pushed the same way, except people have got more exposure now and we've obviously got more opportunity to do that. But I think a lot of the time it's about obviously just you wrestle with all this other stuff. And I think like when it boils down to it, it's like you can fail and failing is good. But I think if you feel like you aren't getting the recognition that you deserve or whatever it is, like, if I'm being honest, it's like me, for instance, it's like obviously like the streams are going well, everything's going well, like the raps and like all of the other music, and I've got a bunch of stuff coming out this year. But it's like sometimes I feel like people don't get it as much. Like I get that sometimes like I rap very, or like I make songs very kind of maybe like coded or whatever, like, but I think at the same time it's like I know if I dumb it down or do whatever, it's like not me being me. But sometimes I do make stuff that's like kind of more easy digestible, I guess. But it's about finding your audience, and it's like I have found mine and it is growing. But it's that whole thing of like we all wrestle with it, like, oh god, I want this and that and da 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 da. But I think it's like it will come, and it does come in time. But it just shows like if you consistently put stuff out like I have, it will build and people do come and find you and do get it. So like to probably wrap it all up and put it in a bundle, it's just make sure that you're always creating from a place of like complete, like, just surrender to it. Basically just surrender to everything, and just make sure that when you make stuff, like, you're golden, and that nothing stands in the way of you making the best art that you possibly can, because of the way that you see it. Nobody's in your reality. So just remember that when creating, is that nobody sees it like you and nobody believes in you like you do. And if you can get other people to do that, that's golden. But if they don't get it, like, move on. Because at the same time, it's like you have to be happy and you have to know that what you're doing is right. But yeah, stay golden. Have a lovely week. Kill shit. Be magic. Take no shit. Peace.
It's painstaking, I've been rainmaking. There's no plain sailing, so please save me time. I don't want